Claymore is one of my favorite dark fantasy anime, and I feel like it's quite underrated. It's a beautiful story, it's well written, and the art in a manga is beautiful. So that's why I feel like talking about it because it's been a while since the anime aired. Claymore Anime is based on the dark fantasy manga. Claymore, written and illustrated by Norihiro Yagi. The manga was published in Jump, yeah, from 2001 and 2014. I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to Claymore, I prefer the manga. Yeah, the anime isn't bad, but I feel like it didn't do the manga justice because it's a lot better than what they showed us in the anime. I can recommend the anime up to episode 12 or maybe 18 after, no, not even 18, maybe 16. After that, I'd say go read the manga because the manga is far, far better. Yeah, that's just what I prefer. Maybe you're going to like the anime, but I just want to say that the ending in the anime is completely different from the story in the manga. We've seen it many times, it happens all the time. So that's why I said you can watch the anime up to episode 12 or 16, then start reading the manga because it doesn't follow the storyline. It doesn't follow the storyline in the manga. Yeah. Now, before I get into the story, I'm just going to explain who are the Claymores. Yeah. So this story takes place on an island in medieval time. Yeah. And back then there was like an infestation. The population had a lot of issues with Yoma. Yoma are shapeshifters, monsters. They can take human form to blend in with the population and then they start feeding on humans. They actually love gods because it's warm and I don't know why they love gods. That's what they love to eat. So it's really hard to make the difference between a Yoma and a human because they can change their shape. They move into a city, they start eating people, and the population has to contact the organization. Those are the people in charge of the claymores. They are the ones who create and train the claymores. Yeah, I said create because claymores were originally human. Yeah, they were human, their family were killed by Yomas, so they want to get revenge. They decided to join the organization to create a claymore. What they do is take Yoma flesh and put it inside their body. So they are half human, half Yoma. And they have a very distinct trait. They are very easy to tell apart from normal humans. They all have blonde or silver hair and silver eyes like Claire on the image. So this Claymore is called Claire. She's Claymore number 47. The story is about her. Yeah, not just her. There are a lot of characters who are going to come into the picture, but the story focuses mostly on Claire. So the Claymore's job is to hunt down Yomas. That's all they do. They just kill the Yoma. They are like female mercenaries because all the Claymores are women. All of them are women, and as I said, it's easy to tell them apart from normal population because of the clothes they wear, their sword, they carry claymore, that's where the title comes from and the name comes from, and they all have blonde or silver hair and silver eyes. Very easy to tell them apart. So when a village has an issue or a city has an issue with a Yoma, they notice that a lot of people are being killed. They just get in touch with the organization who is going to send a claymore depending on the threat. Yes, if it's a higher level Yoma, they're going to send maybe one or two claymores. Yeah, so there are ranks in the claymores. The number you have says how powerful you are in the organization, and Claire is actually the weakest one. The exception is that Claire is an half Yoma half human. She's actually just quarter Yoma. And I'm going to get into her story now, okay? So, as I was saying, the story follows Claire. Claire is Claymore number 47. She joined the organization to get revenge on the former Claymore, who's now an awakened being called Priscilla. When Claire was still very young, Priscilla was Claymore number 2. So she was the second strongest Claymore in the organization, and she did something that hurt Claire so much, she decided to join the organization and get revenge on Priscilla. The thing is, the gap in power between them is massive, even among the Claymores. Even the number one can't take down Priscilla. It's not someone. Is it someone? He's a monster. She's a monster. So is it someone or is it something? It's not someone you can take on easily. Yeah, so most of the time they just leave her alone. The organization doesn't try to fight those abyssal creatures. They are called abyssal, the ones who transcend the awakened being. Okay, most of them are women. There are also men who used to be claymores, but most men failed because they couldn't control themselves. I'm going to explain what that means. So, I mean Claire. Claire is Claymore number 47. And when she's traveling, she comes into a village where a Yoma was killing people. She killed the Yoma, but there was a young boy there who lost his family. His entire family was killed by his own brother who turned into a Yoma. So the people in the village were scared of him. They treated him badly. Claire felt like she had to take care of him because he reminded her of her own childhood. When she was still a child, Claire was kidnapped by a Yoma who abused her so much she couldn't even speak. She shut down emotionally. So this Yoma used Claire as a cover-up. As I said, they can turn human. They can take human form. And when you see someone traveling with a child, you won't think it's a Yoma because Yoma can't help themselves. They have to feed on humans. So why would a Yoma carry around a child? He even moved to a village. He was living among humans, hitting on other people and mistreating Claire until Teresa of the Faint Smile came to that village. At the time, Teresa was Claymore number 1. So she was the strongest Claymore. She's called Teresa of the... Can't speak. So she's called Teresa of the Faint Smile because when she was killing Yoma, she always had a smile on her face. And it's not something a Claymore can do easily. Since they are half human, half Yoma, they have to draw power. They have to draw on the Yoma power to become strong enough to kill a Yoma. A Yoma is a monster. A human, especially a woman, can't kill a Yoma. So that's why they are turned into half human, half Yoma, so that they can draw on Yoma powers to become strong enough to kill a Yoma. But Teresa never used her full power. She always had a smile on her face. So the other Claymore consider her a monster because she was strong, like really, really strong. Okay? She didn't play around. She was strong. And when she arrived in a village, she killed all the Yoma. Then Claire became attached to her. Claire started following her around. She didn't understand what is it with this child. She asked people in the village to take care of her. Claire was just like, I want to go with you. So after she spent time with Teresa, she started... What is it with me today? It's like I can't speak at all. So when she started spending time with Teresa, she started regaining her human emotions. She started smiling again. At first, she couldn't speak at all, but then slowly her speech came back. And Teresa gave her the name Claire to as an homage, or just like the twin goddesses, Claire and Teresa. So her life became better traveling with Teresa, even though she was a Claymore. And the organization doesn't approve. She's a mercenary, okay? Her job is to kill monsters. She can't travel around with a chat. So she tried her best to find somewhere she can leave Claire. She found people who accepted Claire, but on her way back, she met a group of bandits who wanted to attack the village. They actually attacked the village, and she was so mad. There is only one rule Claymore have to follow. They can't kill humans. They can't kill humans at all. Yeah? You can kill all the monsters you want, but you can't touch humans. Teresa was so mad. When she arrived in the village, she killed all the bandits and she became wanted. So, since she was the strongest Claymore at the time, there is no way one or two Claymore would be enough to take her down, okay? She was strong, okay? This girl was strong. She's like a monster. When Claymore fight Yoma, the more they use their Yoma powers, the more they're going to turn into Yoma themselves. And a lot of Claymore died because they used too much Yoma power. They lost their humanity. They transformed into Yoma. So when that happens, there's a dark envelope they send to the organization to give to the person who was the closest to them. Someone they met during training, someone they met during missions. It really depends. Yeah? Teresa never drew enough power to actually turn into a Yoma. She never awakened. As I say, when she was fighting, she always had a smile on her face. How can you smile fighting monsters? So the difference between Teresa and number 2 was massive. That's why when she became wanted, they sent 4 Claymore after her. So from 5 to 2 to go after Teresa, even though they came after all of them at the same time. They couldn't do anything. The thing about Claymore, they have a lot of empathy, especially when it comes between themselves. It's hard for a Claymore to kill another Claymore. They tend to protect each other. That's why when they feel like they're starting to reach their limit, they want to die as human, they send that envelope to a friend or someone they consider like family in your organization, and then that person is going to end their life before they turn into a monster. So they are really protective I'm switching to French now. So they are very protective between themselves. Yeah, that's why even though Teresa was the strongest one, it was easy for her to defeat the other. She actually defeated them, but she couldn't bring herself to kill them because they are just claymores just like herself, and most of them became claymore because they lost a family member to a Yoma. They know that pain. They know that they want to get revenge. They just want to kill Yoma to ease the pain. So they have a lot of empathy, and that was a mistake because even within an organization that takes care of Claymore, there is always one or two who won't feel empathy for others, who just won't care. And it was number 2 at the time, Priscilla. Okay? So Teresa let her guard down and Priscilla managed to kill almost all of them. Priscilla killed Teresa, and to kill her, she had to awaken fully. So she became an awakened being. Claire witnessed all that. She was so shocked because Teresa gave her a reason to live. Teresa made her happy. After everything she went through with that Yoma, Teresa finally set her free, made her enjoy life again, made her feel human again, and only to watch her die. She couldn't do anything. That's why she decided to join the organization so that she can get revenge on Priscilla. So her quest is to get revenge on the person who killed Teresa. I'm not going to tell you how she became a human. I want you to watch the anime. Watch the anime or read the manga. Honestly, I say go for the manga because the anime is good, but it's not as good as the manga. The manga goes more in details, more in depth about the story. The anime feels rushed. Maybe if you watch the anime for the first time, you won't feel it, but if you've already read the manga, you're going to feel the difference. The ending is completely different. So Claire knows that she's not strong enough, but she still wants to get revenge for Teresa. So that's how it started. That's how a story started. That's why she joined the organization, even though she used to be human. And during her journey, she's going to meet some people, like the boy she picked up from a village. His entire family was decimated by a Yoma. On her journey, she's going to meet other Claymore. As I said, there's a lot of solidarity between the Claymores. They seem like monsters. People are scared of them because they're half human, half Yoma. And when you look at them, you just know that they are not human at all. All of them look the same. Well, most of them look the same. Silver hair or blonde hair, silver eyes. So when people look at them, even though they kill Yoma for people to protect humans, they are still scared of them. So there's that solidarity between them. They are very protective of each other. But as I say, there is always in every every organization